Yo, we are back. Welcome to another PVT. I got the fellas with me. We're going to start off with my co-host today, DJ Micah B. Go ahead and introduce yourself, my boy.
Y'all already know what time it is. DJ Micah B at Basket, Gentleman's Talk from the sideline, resident DJ Moo. What's going on, man? Another week. Let's get it.
All right. And to my left or to your right, however you guys want to view it, we got Caden. Caden, go ahead and introduce yourself, dog.
Hello, guys. I'm Caden McWayne. You've probably seen me on the Sports Home, and today I'll be arguing for the side of Jake Paul and Jake versus Mike Tyson.
For sure. Appreciate you. To my right and to DJ's right or to your left, however you guys are looking at it, we got my boy, my brother, Brandon. Brandon, go ahead and introduce yourself, big dog.
What's up, y'all? So I know him because I played with him on Stampede like a few years back, and he's been my boy since. And I'm not alone. B is here too, man.
All right, fellas. We can go ahead and get into this real quick. As you guys know, we got Jake Paul and Mike Tyson coming up in July. Now, I understand we've been seeing a lot of training videos, right? First of all, it's going to be aired on Netflix, which is crazy, to say the least, because I didn't even know Netflix aired fights or did fights. But we've seen the training videos. We've seen the hype, right? Now, Caden, I'm going to start off with you, right? Where do you think this goes after this fight? What do you think is next for Jake Paul after this fight?
Well, it all depends. If he loses, I'm sure he'll train harder, go back up, maybe be another person on his wish list, Conor McGregor, or maybe Canelo. But if he does beat Tyson, I think the expectations are going to be higher for Jake because he had such a lengthy career, and he's really grown as a boxer, from boxing a YouTuber to getting ready to box one of the biggest names in boxing history.
Understandable. I'm gonna ask a follow-up question with that. With if he does win, is this an actual win for Jake Paul? Because Mike Tyson is of an older stature, right? We understand that he may quote unquote still have it, but he is older, right? And is it going to play into the narrative that Jake doesn't really fight true boxers, right? He doesn't fight people that are currently in the boxing world or currently up for a title, or just a real boxer that's known in the game. We have another guest, my boy, my brother Fiasco. We're gonna get him added to the show.
That's a great question, Ian Jenmu. I think if he does win, it would be a bit of an unfair win, just because Mike is about to be 60 soon, so he's practically hitting grandpa level. Well, if that makes sense. And we see what happens when you pit a younger generation fighter with an older fighter. Look at the Evander Holyfield fight in 2022. Evander Holyfield got pummeled by Victor Vider. Ron says no fighting a fighter in his late 50s means nothing. I think there could be some significance. I think it wouldn't play into the narrative of Jake cheats, Jake's a cheater, he uses steroids, yada. I think it would be a case of it's unfair fights have happened.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. We got my brother Fiasco added to the show. Fiasco, go ahead and introduce yourself, big dog.
What's happening, y'all? Fiasco from Sacramento. I'm a real football head. I'm a sports head, feel me, first. I got a couple of collegiate years under my belt playing football, and a lot of semi-pro years, 10 years playing semi-pro football. But, as far as my take on this, really to what he was saying, it really it's not about how hard or how strong Mike Tyson is at this point, because he really just got it down. His technique is impeccable, as we see on all of the posts that's going around right now. It's really just about his reaction time to me. It's like at his age, if he reacts how he thinks he can or how I know he could, the openness that Jake allows or that he has, it could be taken advantage of, especially by a boxer with Mike Tyson's type of IQ. It's just a matter of responding, reading, and reacting. And reacting. Reaction is everything in boxing. Reacting to what you see as fast as you see it.
Okay, most definitely, most definitely. Well, if that's the case, I'm gonna go ahead and ask you this follow-up question. How do you think this goes for Mike Tyson? How do you think his career, or how do you think he follows up from this after this fight? Whether he wins or loses, what do you think is next for Mike Tyson after this fight?
Next for Mike Tyson is really just going to be another celebrity fight. Whether if he win, it's going to be another celebrity that feel like he could take him out. Whether if he lose, it's going to be another celebrity that feel like he could do it too, just to get that notch under their belt, or just to say they fought with Mike Tyson. It's just going to open up a lane to show that he could still fight, but not fight at the level he was at, but like fight at a level to where I could take a celebrity boxing match. You know, I could fight Bosco. You feel me? Type kind of situation. If I just want another check in the next 6 months, type kind of deal. I feel like it'll probably open up some lanes for another little celebrity fight if you want to, but it's for surely gonna expand his business as far as like the little weed stuff he doing, his pre-rolls and all of that. Like it's for sure finna bring him a bag. But if anybody think Tyson fell out for whatever reason, they crazy out their mind.
Okay, most definitely, most definitely. Kaden, I'm gonna come back to you with this question with celebrity boxing, because Jake Paul is really heavily influenced in celebrity boxing. You can say that he's probably one of the ones that kind of kicked it off as far as bringing it to the mainstream. What do you think celebrity boxing, or what do you think the influence of celebrity boxing has to do on the boxing world? And do you think it plays a part in boxing, I guess, being overlooked as a sport or watered down, as a lot of people say?
That's a good question, I disagree with that statement of celebrity boxing making the sport watered down. I think it brought a whole new perspective to the sport, and it's putting boxing into the mainstream again, especially Jake Paul. He has a whole boxing enterprise, most valuable promotions, and he treats his fighters with the respect they deserve. If we go to UFC, they barely give their fighters $1 million of their cut. I think Jake Paul is one of the pioneers of making boxing popular again, thanks to the celebrity boxing matches. And I think eventually we have the potential of seeing celebrity fighters in the UFC.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. I'm not gonna lie, DJ. I'm gonna go ahead and get you in here. What do you think? What do you think the outlook of this is? How do you think this? How do you think this is all gonna go? This is all gonna go down.
I mean, as far as my pick, I think Mike Tyson is gonna win. I was gonna ask a question later, but I think I'll just bring it up now because the point was made is making boxing popular again, is bringing boxing back to the forefront and things like that. But I already think the beef between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder already started bringing it back to the forefront. You got Tank and Ryan Garcia bringing it back to the forefront. My issue with this is I'm not gonna say I'm not a fan of celebrity boxing, but at certain points we got to start asking the question: does this make a mockery of boxing as a sport? Because people from the outside really think they can just come in here and take on people, and people aren't skilled enough to beat people that aren't real boxers. I'm not saying Jake Paul's not a real boxer. Obviously, he started off as a celebrity boxer and was just doing this for fun, but then he actually started taking training and became an actual boxer. But he's not. He hasn't really fought anyone. He's bouncing around doing celebrity fights, which is cool if it's another celebrity fighting against the person. Like if somebody like Mike Tyson and Roy Jones probably is going to garner more eyes than this one did because it was two real boxers past their prime. You know, like kind of like how the big three is basketball players and either past their prime or they're still in their prime but can't make it on the NBA court no more. But it's still a high level of basketball because we all know they can make it at any given point. So I feel like, does anybody else feel like it's a mockery? Like I really feel like Jake Paul makes a mockery of the sport.
Brandon, let's go ahead and get you in here. Do you feel like Jake Paul is making a mockery of boxing, or do you feel like he's improving or advancing boxing?
That's a good.
I think Brandon's busy right now, but Caden, we're gonna come to you with that question. Do you think Jake Paul is better in boxing for the future, or do you think that he's ruining or making a mockery of boxing, as DJ said?
Well, I've been with Jake Paul since the Nate Robinson fight, and I think he was a joke at first, but I saw potential in him. He was able to knock Nate out in 2 rounds. So to be fair, he was a basketball player, but from there, his skill grew. He knocked out Ben Askren in barely 5 minutes. Then he went to Tyrone Woodley, which I think we'll see a trilogy of. I think it makes boxing look bad and is eventually going to get someone seriously hurt. Roan said. And we'll see about that. We'll see about that, Mr. Roan. But I think he's grown as a boxer, sir, since Woodley, possibly even Tommy Fury. But now he's facing real boxers. Andre August, he knocked out in the first round. Ryan Borland knocked out in the first round. I think it will still take a few rounds to knock out Tyson, or at least get into a no contest. But I think Jake's growing as a boxer. I really do.
Okay. Fiasco, what you think about this? Do you think he's making a mockery of boxing, or do you think he's making it better?
Is ball in life getting took serious as an NBA level thing?
That's a good
flag football is still at the flag football level. They ain't got no NFL offers. I know it ain't a lot of baseball, but minor league baseball is minor league baseball for a reason. They're not professional for a reason. So for people to think, okay, because we fighting on a pay-per-view level and we got this name and we trained for so long with so whoever, to think that you are a title contender, or let alone a professional boxer, or outside of anything an amateur, is a mockery in itself. You feel me? I've been playing semi-pro for 10 years. I can't turn around and say I'm ready for the NFL, or I could be a professional like what I do. Like, we don't take this serious. Jake Paul makes you. I'm looking at YouTube right now, and he has a clickbait video that says, "I'm gonna lose to Mike Tyson." You feel me? Like, Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia ain't on the internet. You feel me? They're locked into their camps. You feel me? They woke up this morning and ran. You feel me? Jump rope, trained. Jake Paul woke up this morning and uploaded a video to YouTube. So it's a mockery to the sport, to the craft, to just the whole everything that's going on with the approach of the sport itself, because it's just not there. It's not aligned with being a professional. You feel me? So the fact that a Jake Paul fight gets put on pay-per-view because he's worth $5 million is a mockery to the sport. You feel me? Because it's fighters that's 16 and 10 that ain't never been on a pay-per-view fight, but's been training for the last 20 years chasing a title. You feel me? And they can't get a pay-per-view chase because they don't got a pay-per-view. I mean, because they don't got a title path, a title shot. If you don't got a path to the title, you don't got a path to pay-per-view, period. You're going to be undercard preliminaries. So if you're not a top name, why are you even on pay-per-view? If you can't fight with the preliminary card, Jake Paul, why are you making pay-per-view fights? See what I'm saying? And yes, it's a mockery. It's a disrespect to the sport. It's not to the sport, but to the professional side of the sport. You feel me? And it doesn't do nothing to help the professional side of the sport, because people care more about Jake Paul fighting Mike Tyson than they do care about a real title shot, undisputed champions, fun a fight on 420. You feel me? Like, it's crazy.
That's true. That's true. Now, Kaden, before I come back to you with this question, I want to ask Fiasco this question. With that thought, because that is the sentiment around the boxing world right now, that Jake Paul is kind of making a mockery of the professional aspect of the boxing world. And being a huge boxing fan myself, I kind of thought about it in the same way. But I wanted to ask you guys, the panel, the question as a whole. Do you think with the state of boxing, right, with Shakur Stevenson basically saying he's going to retire early, but then coming back to fight somebody who we don't know yet, Canelo taking on a lesser known opponent and not taking on Benavidez, you got Jamel Charlo and Caleb Plant playing around with it's just a whole bunch of back and forth and oh, the money's not right and this and that. But when you really look at the logistics, when you look at the outcomes of it, everything looks fine. It's just, it seems like these guys don't want to fight, and taking it to the NFL or even to the NBA, where you see the old school and the new school kind of clashing right now, where the old school where they took the time to really kind of go at each other and were really more in a more competitive mindset, to where now it's more of a friend thing and everybody just kind of wants to see their friend kind of get a bag or whatever the case may be, which I understand. But at the same time, there starts to be some way, shape, or form of competitive aspect to it. But you've seen back in the day where you've seen the top fighters want to fight each other. Like, there was no, oh, I'm just going to put it off. There was no, oh, we're not going to fight here, we're not going to fight there, or the money's not lighting up. Like, nah, like, time and place, we're going to fight. So with how Jake Paul is moving and with how Mike Tyson is proceeding, do you think that it kind of shakes the boxing world up to think that, like, it doesn't really matter if the money lines up, we're going to make our money regardless of the fact, but hey, like, I want this fight. Like, we're going to make this fight happen, right? Like, do you think it kind of changes it in that aspect, or do you think it kind of pushes it back to where people are more focused on the money because they see the money or they see the numbers from Netflix?
For me personally, it's a double-sided answer for real, because like, if you think about it, the big money is in the fights that the people want to see. Like Ryan Garcia said a few days ago on an interview, he was like, at this point in his career, it's not about just the sport of boxing. It's not about just taking fights. It's about going back to what's fun. You feel me? Like, I'm fighting a no name. Fighting a no name ain't fun. I don't got to train hard. I want to fight a Devin Haney. I want to fight a Shakur Stevenson. I want to fight somebody that's going to make the sport fun again, where I got to really sharpen my craft and stuff like that. And that's where the big bags, if they really want to focus on the bags. But the reason why I say it's a double-sided answer, because people are focused on their record as well. Like, Shakur don't want to stain that. You feel me? Devin, he don't want to stain it, but he willing to risk it to prove that he is the best. You feel me? And like, that's really what it comes down to. It's like, these top boxers, to where it's like, they should, like how you said, it should get back to where they giving us the fights we want to see. Bud versus Terrence, you feel me? Ryan versus Tank. Next, we want to see Ryan versus Devin, or Tank versus Shakur. You feel me? That's the fights we want to see. But it's like, the technicalities, and they want to do this, that, and the third to make it seem like, oh, his side got something weird on the contract, when really is don't nobody want to stain their record. You feel me? And with fights like the one we talking about, the Jake and the Mike Tyson fights like that throw that off, because it's like, it gives them more ground and more leeway to be like, oh, it's their turn to do it. We don't got to do it right now. You see what I'm saying? Like, they just took at least 100 days back from me having to take a big fight. You feel me? And that's why, not even gonna say that's why, but I feel like all of within the entertainment world, that's leaving people to be like, okay, I don't gotta take this big fight. Shakur, or you feel me, Tank, or one of them top fighters to take a side fight we won't know nothing about, because it's not bigger than what's happening right now. You feel me?
That makes sense.
Shit like that be playing out like, oh, we didn't even know he fought, bro, because we were so worried about this fight whole time. He took that fight against him and scraped him in 3 rounds, type kind of shit. And they just using, like I said, they using these type of opportunities to prolong they journey or they path to taking that big fight that the fans really want to see, that's gonna break the box office and shit like that. Because Shakira and Tank fight, everybody tuning in. You feel me? That's gonna be one of the biggest fights of the year, type shit.
True. That's true. That's true. Kaden, what you think?
I think, in a sense, the Jake Paul fights do take away the fun of boxing, as Fiasco said. But like I said before, I think he's doing a good job at making boxing popular again, and particularly in the pay aspect. And I think he's grown as a fighter. He's facing actual boxers now, like August and Portland. But overall, I think the fans have different tastes in fighters. And it's all about perspective.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. DJ, I'm gonna come to you with this. Do you think that this is gonna push a lot of these big name fighters to start taking a lot of fights against other big name fighters, or do you think they're just gonna kind of sit back and wait for the money is quote unquote right?
They're gonna sit back, and I'm gonna tell you why they're gonna sit back. I don't want to put this on Floyd because he flaunts his 50-0 record, so I don't want to put it on Floyd. But Floyd made it popular in boxing, especially, and amongst a lot of other athletes like Floyd, Jordan, Serena, like all those names are together as top of their sport during a certain time frame. And with that certain time frame, they taught everybody how to build brands. And everybody is more worried about their brand individually, which also ties to their record. They're more worried about their brands than they are the sport. And bring it back to what you said just a while ago, because you said in basketball is the perfect example. The All-Star game is non-competitive now because everybody's scared to get crossed up. People are scared to get dunked on. They're scared to get done dirty on national TV because they're scared it's going to hurt their brand.
And blame it on injuries.
Right.
And blame it on injuries. That's a good point.
You don't want to get injured, so I'm going to just let him take the lane and go dunk.
Right. And they want to blame it on injuries when in reality, that ain't the truth. You scared to go out there and compete because you're scared you're going to get crossed. You're scared you're going to get dunked on. And your defense isn't going to matter. Whatever you do, as long as they make the shot or dunk on you, whatever, it's not going to matter. So they feel like it hurts their brand. But I'm telling you, I will sit here and tell you, I have no interest in the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight. But the minute Bud Crawford has a fight, a real boxer has a fight, I'm tuned the hell in. Right, you have the potential. Floyd took on every fighter that basically was looked upon as he could do it. He might be the one. Now everybody's sitting there. I feel like Jake Paul is just trolling the sport of boxing because people aren't tuning in to see Jake Paul fight. They're tuning in to be like, please knock this dude out and get him about this sport. Yeah. And that's how a lot of people are. That's why we say it's making a mockery of the sport. This is still a craft. This is something that people work for their whole life. And for an outsider to come in, not really take it serious as much as these people have been going. And I'm not saying Jake Paul can't box. He's obviously he's naturally gifted, but take a fight. Take a real fighter. And I mean, when I look at people like Shakur Stevenson and all these guys and I see their records, they had 25, 30 fights. Now, who is these people that fighting and why are these fights not on TV? Yeah. I wake up one day and Shakur Stevenson won a fight last night. Where was the publicity for that?
Real.
I mean, I definitely understand it. Don't get me wrong. I definitely understand it because as somebody who, trust me, like somebody who watches boxing, is a huge boxing fan. I try to catch it anytime that I can. Most of the time it's on Hulu. It's not going to be on like a big network. It's probably going to be one of these small networks. And ESPN Plus has, I guess, done a really good job of buying a lot of these smaller networks and kind of boasting a lot of these fights, UFC, boxing, just a lot of collegiate sports as well. So they're out there, but you just got to look extra hard for it. But you're absolutely right, though. It's just the publicity behind it all is not really there, right? And even with like other fighters, like you have Walsh Ali, Muhammad Ali's grandson. It's like he fights very frequently, right? And he takes a lot of fights, but to the outside eye looking in, probably looks like he doesn't really take a lot of fights. But when you see him on like the big stage, it's like why isn't he getting more of of publicity? But you have guys like Jake Paul that are coming in and they are clearing the numbers and they're dominating the YouTubes, dominating the all the streaming services. But none of these other guys that, like you said, have been fighting and working their whole lives to get there are getting that opportunity. But I wanted to come at Kaden with this question. Do you think Jake Paul ever comes out and actually fights a big name fighter other than somebody I guess who's not retired or a UFC fighter or just one of the guys who has their name in the bid for to be a belt or to be even a contender?
I think he already has with Tommy Fury. He's a practicing fighter. 8-0 right now. 9-0 actually with his win with KSI.
That's true.
Another celebrity fighter. So we've seen Jake take on big names already. I think eventually he will take on an even bigger name like the Conor McGregors, the Canelos, Ryan Garcia. Maybe that would be a fight to remember.
I'm looking up his weight class right now, right? And so he would go down as cruiserweight, which also his brother is a cruiserweight as well. So that would be interesting to see a Jake Paul and Logan Paul fight as well. Hopefully that's in the with all of the money that's moving and all of the publicity. Let's jump. I might as well go ahead and do that. But just looking at cruiserweight boxers right now, as somebody who I would say like I would want to see him, take on, or I would want to see him go against to kind of make of a name, make more of a name for himself. You got guys like Ramirez. He's 45-1. He's a Mexican fighter. He's been in the game for a long time. I would like to see him probably try to, hold his hand against them. Roziki, I always butcher this dude's name, but Roziki. He's a dude from Canada. Really, really good fighter. He's a switch fighter. Really solid. He's actually young in the game. He's 20-1. So I think that'll probably be a solid test for Jake Paul too. And even if that, doesn't, or whether he wants to go up or down, or whether he wants to, stay at his weight class, there's a lot of guys in that division to where, he can take on and, start to make a name for himself in the boxing world, to where he's going to be more respected as a boxer and not just looked at as more of an influencer boxer or a celebrity boxer, which brings me to my next question. Do you think celebrity boxing has a future as a whole? Do you think it's the traction that is gaining? Do you guys think that it has more of a future as a whole? Do you think that a lot of more celebrities are going to start transitioning to celebrity boxing when they have these quote unquote beefs? Or do you think it's going to kind of stay where it's at? Katie, I'm going to start with you.
I think eventually it'll get even bigger than the UFC. I think it will be a whole big league exclusively for celebrity boxing. In a way, there's already is with the Blueface fights and Jake Paul, who's literally not becoming just a celebrity boxer anymore. Or Blueface, Austin Kaboom's a big name in celebrity boxing. Now, I think the more people we get involved in celebrity boxing, the bigger it's going to be. One of the biggest fights I would personally love to see is a fight between Ryan Garcia and Kanye West. That would be a fight to remember.
Hey, I would probably love to see that. But Fiasco, I'm coming at you with the same question. Do you think celebrity boxing has a future, or do you think it's kind of stagnant where it's at?
I think it's stagnant where it's at. I don't know if any of y'all know, and I don't know how serious it is, but I was on TV one day, and they actually have a celebrity boxing league. You feel me? Where I don't know if it's like a roster or they just invite people in and they just get them to fight or whatever. But it's like a network that promotes celebrity boxing, celebrity celebrity boxing matches, and it seems pretty unentertaining to me. Like I was watching it, it was kind of corny. And then when they got out in the ring, it was even more cornier. Like it's gonna die because people are gonna be tired of seeing scrappy fights. You feel me? And like when I say scrappy fights, I mean like how you would imagine in the streets. Like when I see a boxing match, I'm expecting jabs, I'm expecting timing, spacing, counters, and
The sweet
I'm not
science.
expecting all the. I see them square up and it look like they finna have some promise, and the next thing I know they, you know, like forehead to forehead doing this, and it's like at some point we just gonna be better off going to YouTube and checking out fights. Like it's not really given. And like as far as like Jake Paul heading the celebrity boxing world, that's gonna be dead because at some point he's gonna have to elevate. You feel me? Like we in the 2020s, you got to keep going up. His next step is going to have to sign up, do the physical and all of the proper shit to become a professional boxer. Like, yeah, Tommy Fury is a professional boxer, but that wasn't in no professional standings. You feel me? Setting like he's just a top boxer, and then that goes back to the last point I made. Tommy Fury is a bottom of the barrel cruiserweight boxer. You feel me? So if Jake had a little problem with him, imagine if he just went up a level. Jake would never even make it to the championship title chase. You feel me? So that's my take on that celebrity boxing
And
bullshit.
it's interesting. It's interesting that y'all say that, right? Because just looking at the cruiserweight, looking at more names on the cruiserweight, the current champion, um, um, he's no slouch.
Nah.
So it'll be different. And one of the bigger names in that class is Bodu Jack, who's a powerhouse in his own right. Great footwork, great stamina. Has a mean left hand. But still, he really holds no candle to Jay the champion, who in his own right will literally just dance around you and outbox you, right?
Yeah.
And so when I think of Jake Paul and I think of just his future for not only just boxing overall, but just as what he's doing as an influencer. Kind of like what Ron said in the comments, it may be a good or bad thing. It's up to people to kind of determine that for themselves. But a lot of people do have to be careful because it's not something that you can just kind of step into and think that you're going to succeed in and just make a lot of money because you see somebody who's doing it. Like a lot of people will get hurt doing something like this, especially going up against somebody who you may not be, qualified or ready to go up against. And I think that's kind of the motive when it comes to Jake Paul is he with all of his talk of Medicare and fighters getting paid and taking care of the fighters long term. I think that's his ultimate long term goal is to not sustain as much head damage by not taking on these big name crazy fighters and taking on fight after fight after fight. To sustain health, so he can have a longer, more elevated career. But I can only speculate. But I think that for the ultimate future of celebrity boxing, they have to find a middle ground somewhere. You can't just have it where you have one side where people aren't really taking it seriously, and then you have the other side where people are kind of taking it seriously, but it kind of looks in the same aspect as a celebrity boxing kind of theme because you have these two guys that are top tier boxers that don't quote unquote want to fight each other or that want to fight each other, but the numbers don't add up right or this happened and that's happening. And so it kind of feels like it's a celebrity boxing kind of outlook and kind of thing to where, now these guys are really gaining the traction or garnering the traction that they need to sell fights, to sell tickets, which makes boxing kind of, go under the radar like other people are saying. But I wanted to get to this next thing about Mike Tyson. Do you guys think that this kind of starts a conundrum with old fighters, right? Because I seen something about two older fighters. I forget their names, but they were, I guess, getting together for either a sparring match or an old school celebrity boxing match. But do you think this starts something for these old timers? Like, do you think we're gonna see 70-year-olds getting into the ring, real tearing each other, feel me, hitting each other and shit, meeting each other, having wheel offs? Katie, I'm gonna start.
I
Katie, I'm
mean,
gonna start with
look.
you.
I mean, look, man. What here's to answer the first question about the celebrity fighting. Hell no, it's not gonna get bigger. This might be the pinnacle here, but as far as boxing goes, but I think people will still tune in and pay money. As I think it'll go as far as the names you get to fight in the ring goes. Like if you get Chris Brown up there, it doesn't matter who he's fighting. People are going to tune in because it's Chris Brown. I'm not even going because it's
all about
everybody
the
wants to see right. People want to see the name and the theatrics around it. So it'll only go as far as the big name people are willing to get in. Jake Paul might
But
be
what
the
if we
biggest
get like
name.
50 Cent and Ja Rule?
I think everybody would tune in again. That's
Sure.
a big name beef. So I think people would tune in.
People want to see 50 Cent fight. People ain't seen
Yeah.
50 Cent fight yet, and he got all this
You feel
hype
me?
behind him. Hell yeah, I'm trying to
Yeah.
watch that.
Exactly,
If-
right?
if
So,
you- right. So
with what
But the
Jake
thing
Paul's
about those
doing, you would
celebrities
think
are,
that
the thing about
No, go
those
ahead.
type of celebrities, they're not, it ain't no bag you could pay them. It ain't no entertainment that ain't already gave, or like it's not nothing that can make them be like, yeah, let's do this. Unless they really just care about the fans that much. You feel me? Like that's where that line is. Like if Mozzie and YG decided to fight just for some like
that would be hilarious.
that'd be dope as hell. People to tune in, but like, why would they decide to do that for the people when they already get in the bag? You feel me? Like
that makes sense.
Shit like that. Like why does Chris Brown need to fight Draco, Soldier Boy, or whatever his name is for any type of money? Or why not even Chris Brown? I mean Blueface. You feel me? Like why am I gonna go fight this dude when I'm still making $500,000 on my OnlyFans? Blues House season 1 and 2. You feel me? Like monthly, like shit like that. You feel me? And even though that'll be hella entertaining to see, people want to see Soldier Boy fight. I don't care if he go fight the homie from the hood. People want to see him throw his hands. You feel me? But like,
I need 21 Savage.
Ain't nothing gonna drag him to the ring to really do that to entertain the people. So that's like what it comes down to. That's like the bottom denominator at the end of the day for those type of fights to happen. Is this not nothing worth it for them to do it? Because they're too top of entertainers to like. That's up and coming entertainer shit only. You feel me? Like ain't no.
And now that I can understand. Now that I can
understand. Gonna fight MGK. They just gonna rap battle back and forth. You feel me?
That would be
like,
fucking hilarious.
5 years ago, they wasn't gonna go in the ring and box. They was making too much money for that.
That would be hilarious. I'm not gonna lie to you, Katie. What you think? Do you think that celebrities are gonna start taking the chance to really go at each other and start fighting each other, or do you think that they're just gonna kind of sit back and laugh? Or do you think the fans want to see it more? Right? Do you think the fans are gonna start requesting random matchups between random celebrities that kind of sort of have beef? Like, are we gonna see a Nicki Minaj, Megan Thee Stallion celebrity boxing match?
That'd be crazy.
Oh, I forgot about Nicki and Megan. I haven't seen it in the news in a while. But I highly doubt we'll see 70-year-old men fighting it out. That's called instant death. But I think eventually we will see an increase in demand for random celebrity matchup feud type things like Eminem versus Benzino, Kanye versus Drake, Nicki versus Cardi and Megan.
Triple threat match.
That would be
triple threat boxing match, bro. That's wild.
TLC.
Yeah, 15 job rule.
Triple threat.
Kristen Offset would be.
Might be the next.
Cat versus Kevin. Oh my god.
Call it the Minions match.
Cat Williams versus Kevin Hart. Yeah, even bad.
Battle of the shortest comedian.
Yep. I think it'll even evolve where we see celebrity couples getting into the ring to celebrate.
Celebrity tag team.
I was gonna say the tag team matches. That'd be crazy.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I was just thinking partner versus partner, but tag teams would probably be better. Like Cardi and Offset versus Britney Spears and Sam A.
Wow.
Partner versus partner is wild.
As good as this sounds, this is just like
take it to WWE. Exactly.
Yeah. But even then, for like people like me, when I seen Logan Paul was a was a wrestling champion for whatever wrestling league that's popular on television, I was like, yeah, it's over for the sports of 2020 of the 2020s. Like any entertainment fighting sport world is over for. Like it's all pure entertainment. It's not about who the fans love.
Hey man, I'm gonna tell you this though. Me being a WWE wrestling fan, Bad Bunny and Logan Paul are the two celebrities that have came that can actually wrestle because they actually train to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
They're actually really good.
For sure.
Bad Bunny can wrestle.
Logan does look good. Pause. He does look good doing his thing though. Pause.
Joy Taylor versus Jamel Hill. I never heard of them. Who are
Joy? Wow.
Hey, not only is that petty, but I love it. Okay, I absolutely love it. So
why we up there throwing Rachel versus Maria? Maria gonna lay her ass out.
Relax.
He said, "Why we throwing? Forget it.
Relax. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. YouTube, we don't. YouTube, we do not condone violence. Okay, YouTube. So
we talking about a boxing match.
We don't condone violence at all. We promote love and peace over here on this channel. Love, peace, and chicken grease. But to tie this all in, it just seems interesting that now of all things and of all people, Mike Tyson, Jake Paul is gonna, want to take on. Honestly, I would have loved to see him take on his brother. I thought that would have been more of a bigger name or a bigger match. But Katie, we're gonna go ahead and come at you with our final thoughts. With everything that's been said, how do you think overall Netflix is going to do from this? Like, do you think that this is going to start a new thing for Netflix with streaming live fights?
Absolutely. Netflix is falling apart right now, especially with their password sharing policies and their high prices. So I think it's $12 a month now, something outrageous. Back in my day, I'm 19, so yes, I can say back in my day. Now,
absolutely.
it was only $6 for a Netflix member. So there goes our economy. But Jake and Mike both have really huge fan bases. Jake Paul, as he said, is worth $5 million and has millions upon hundreds of thousands of followers and subscribers on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, RIP to and Mike Tyson, he's a GOAT, a legend. He's had fans for 2 generations now. So I think people will be willing to spend that $12 to pay to watch the fight, eat, and I absolutely think it'll start something new for Netflix. Maybe a boxing league for
Netflix boxing league. That's crazy. Fiasco, what you think?
Nah, Netflix doing trying to get on that Hulu hype is pretty clever. You feel me? They gotta copy. Apps is always biting off apps. You feel me? If Hulu come with a live stream section, Netflix gonna let you live stream in a month later. You feel me? Like it's just all about competition and competing. Because the last 2-3 years we've been watching football on Hulu. You feel me? They put the Super Bowl on Paramount. You feel me? So Netflix had to figure out how they gonna make their entrance into the live streaming and to being a live streaming app somehow, some way. Is boxing the best way to go about it? Hell yeah, because boxing is year round. Like at any moment of time during the year, could you get a big fight? And Netflix profiting at least 200,000 people to sign up just for that fight. You feel me? Every other month is a good look, especially if Hulu ain't doing it, HBO Max ain't doing it. You got to pay an extra $30 on ESPN. You feel me? Just another way to shortcut the pay-per-view. Yeah, it's a good look for sure. Mike Tyson and Jake Paul to debut it. Back to the mockery of the sport conversation again. You feel me? Like that's crazy. You feel me? Like Why not do that with Tank and Ryan, or why not do that with Devin and Ryan? You feel me? Why not do that with in Ngannou and Joshua? Why not do that with Ngannou and Tyson? You feel me? Like it's like it's different little things like that I be thinking about that make it look goofy, because it's really all about entertainment at the end of the day. Like, it's not even about respect in boxing. It's just about two dudes that got a big name that's going to do something that they're not used to doing nowadays that often. You feel me? Yeah, they might. Yes, that might be their thing, but like we was talking about, that's not their thing. You feel me? Mike Tyson is in the retailing business, weed, THC, cigarillos, cones, papers, and all of that. And
Podcast.
Jake Paul is an internet sensation. So it's just about how can Netflix help YouTube, help TikTok, help this and help promote that. You feel me? At the end of the day. And then for Jake Paul to be on his way to fighting a dude like Fury, to level out and plan or even go down to fighting somebody like Mike Tyson is crazy to me. And like, I know it's Mike Tyson, but he's not a professional boxer. He's not giving you a lane to be like, you could go do this for real in your future. You feel me? Like that Tommy Fury fight was. This is just him back on some entertainment bullshit. You feel me? Like, he take this fight, win it or lose it. I don't feel like people in the bottom tier of the cruiserweight would take him serious as a real cruiserweight boxer. You feel me?
I understand that. DJ?
Yeah, I think this is a genius move by Netflix. I really do. You know, probably wrong fight, but hey, you gotta get your foot in the game somehow, man. I'm just saying, like, wrong fight, definitely wrong fight.
Smart
If you want,
move, concept.
yeah, great concept. You know how they say, good message, bad messenger. Yeah, that kind of thing.
There we go.
Good,
There we go.
yeah, good
There
idea, bad fight.
I can definitely understand that.
But what I will also say is, I don't think anybody out here takes Jake Paul seriously as a boxer. And I know Caden was like, well, he's beat real boxers. Yeah. The first boxer he beat was, I think, 0-0. Gibb. And now he has one loss to Jake Paul, and he has one win. I can't remember who he beat. And then when you just go down the list, you know, like you can't get that man props for this. Nate Robinson, NBA player. Ben Askren, MMA. Tyron Woodley twice, MMA. Anderson Silva, MMA. Tommy Fury, he lost, a real boxer. Andre August, MMA. Ryan Borland, he won, boxer. Like, this is ridiculous. But I will say Jake Paul is a genius on how to market yourself and brand yourself and make people tune in. So I will give him that. Aspect. So, yeah, Netflix, nice idea. Wrong fight if you want to break into the boxing world and take those views away from pay-per-view. Very, very bad fight.
And even those fights against MMA dudes, they were years removed from even putting gloves on, striking, competing, all of that.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, gentlemen. Before we get out of here, we're gonna go ahead and give final thoughts starting from left to right. Caden, go ahead and give us your final thoughts, big dog.
Absolutely. I think this will be one of the toughest fights in Jake's career. I've watched the Mike Tyson training video, and I see he still has it, but I think by some miraculous miracle, which is what we saw with Andre and Borland, I think Jake has a chance of beating Mike Tyson, if not by a KO, by a split decision.
For sure. Yep, for sure. Fiasco.
My final thoughts are, you feel me? About the fight, final thoughts about the fight really is like, if Mike Tyson, he get caught with one of those big punches by Jake, it cannot be good. You feel me? We don't know what type of chin he got at this point, what type of regiment or what type of strength he got. We seen a lot of him throwing punches, but we haven't seen him taking punches at all. So that's my only fear about seeing a fight, because, you know, Jake is a good fighter. He got a strong hook, you feel me? And he loves to open it up and throw that motherfucker. And like I said, if Tyson don't react how he's supposed to, it's gonna be pillows and bedtime stories. You feel me? Other than that, like as far as technicalities, Mike Tyson is a walking boxing machine, even still to this day when it comes to that. So I'm not really worried about that too much. But like the seriousness of the fight, like my alarm clock will not be going off when this fight, when the fight card starts, like my alarm clock was going off when the Sean O'Malley fight card started. Like my alarm clock was going off when the Joshua Anthony fight card started. Like I'll catch the highlights, or if I think about turning it on before the fight starts, I'm gonna catch it. But it's not like it's not one of those ones for me personally, because it's like it's Mike Tyson. You feel me? It's not really proving nothing for Jake Paul. The Tommy Fury fight was a bigger fight than that, because it was actually showing him being able to compete with guys that's actually doing the shit that he's saying he wants to do. You feel me? Like whether if he lost or won it, he still showed that, hey, I could compete with these tier of fighters in this level. You feel me? But like as far as taking him serious to see if he really could be something or do something with himself, that's for the birds.
For sure. DJ.
I'm gonna touch on two things both of y'all said. The fact that you said to see if you can compete in that tier of fighters. Exactly what tier is that? Because it's more like bottom of the barrel of cruiserweights. And to respond to Caden, the fact that you said this is going to be one of the biggest fights of Jake Paul's career, taking on a damn near 60-year-old Mike Tyson, does not say much. And imagine if he loses this fight, man. Come on. But in closing, y'all make sure y'all tune into my boy Moo tomorrow, along with OG Mel on the best damn football show on the internet. Period. Inside the Huddle. Then, of course, on Monday, me and Moo will be right back here, basket to basket. And then Wednesday, I will be on Gentleman's Talk. Moo might be passing through, too. So y'all already know what it is.
Yeah, I know that's me on that intro rapping that shit for y'all.
Yeah, we do got the rapper for the intro of Basket to Basket.
Well, you should have led with that. Well, goddamn.
Oh, my bad.
It's a real surprise. You know what I'm saying? He don't like to flex like that, but yeah, if y'all,
I need you on Gentleman's Talk then.
When you open Basket to Basket from the sideline, going to hit that link. 5:30s on Pacific time, 7:30s Eastern. That is my boy. That is my brother.
Guy you hear rapping that fly basketball shit in the background.
Oh yeah, so we gonna my boy DJ's gonna go ahead and hook him up with the interview so we can get him on Gentleman's Talk, so we can go ahead and expand that knowledge and see what my boy working on as of recently. Thank you for everybody that tuned in today, all my Facebook family, all my YouTube family. Rome, appreciate you for sliding through. Fellas, great show, and we gonna see you guys next week.
Thank you for having